I got to get to work, so I don't have time basically to sit up here and basically uh, shoot a video and edit it and wait for it to load. You know, when it's completed and then have to reload it onto the channel. So I'm just gonna do some live streams and just keep it pushing. All right, so I had a chance to really assess and get a real, look at Caitlin Clark as I watched the game pretty much in its entirety with Caitlin Clark and her team, because that's what it seems to be about. Like you would think that it's just one person because the media has made it that way, which I'm gonna get to the media crying about Caitlin Clark being on the Olympic team. But looking at Caitlin Clark, she has a lot of deficiencies. Terrible defender, so commits a lot of turnovers. I seen her get picked. I seen her get picked at least twice. And keep in mind, the team is 3-10. So that should say it all. And this is why she shouldn't go to the Olympics. But I'm going to talk about that in the next segue. Going to talk about that in the next video because, like I said, I got to do some catching up. But yeah, it's just a lot of flaws with her that the media don't want to tell you. And as far as her scoring that 30 points, that was get against one of the worst teams in the league. So I think that this, you know what I'm saying, this Caitlin Clark hype train is proving that she's overrated. And she really is. And I get tired of the fact that people act as if we can't say anything about her, you know, because to me, she isn't even the best player on her team, to be honest with you. So I'm just Boston may be the best player on that team actually. So with that being said, is the typical she gets too much credit and she's not making an impact. The record alone is enough to justify her not being on the Olympic team. But you have the media that want to create this fake notion that she's being picked on and she's being oppressed and she's being discriminated against. You know, and when I hear people see what they're trying to use is they don't want to flat out. Some of them don't want to flat out say it's so-called reverse racism, which there's no such thing as reverse racism. They're saying it's jealousy. First of all, there's nothing to be jealous of. Okay, for real. Caitlin Clark looked like that chick on Don't Be a Menace to Gin and Juice. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. The Milk of Magnesia chick. She ain't too much far off from that chick. So, I'm just keeping it a buck. But like I said before, getting a real look at her, that's what they don't want to tell you. She's a turnover machine and she's a terrible defender. I'm talking about she is a terrible defender. Now, keep in mind, I'm not the, basketball expert that Ticket TV is, but, and too raw for TV, but I can assess the game pretty well myself. But just looking at her, those are her major flaws. Very lazy on defense, creates a lot of turnovers, and she could be streaky at times. And at the same time, she needs to have her shot set up. Really can't create her own shots, so she has a lot of flaws. So that's why she's going to have, until she works on some things, she's going to have these type of games. Keep in mind, the score doesn't indicate what a blowout that was. That team went as far down as like almost 30 points, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, the Sun ended that game pretty much by halftime. Now they got within 8, but then the Sun played very good defense. They, picking the ball, rebounding. So, at the end of the day, she gonna have to understand teams are motivated, and I don't think that they should change the way they play this to oblige her. So that's her real flaws. They don't want to tell you that. And then the thing is when they lose, it's her team. It's her team. She doesn't have help. She doesn't have help. Like I said, she's the help. They made her the Messiah, so now she has to live up to those expectations. We don't want to hear no excuses. So there you have it. Yeah, and see, Dre, that's the problem. People don't want to tell the truth about what's really going on with her. She is terrible on defense. Terrible defender. Terrible defender. She only can, like, you know what I'm saying? She's not Stephen Curry. So for them to even remotely try to compare her to Stephen Curry, that's an insult and that's a slap in the face. Stephen Curry can create his own shot while making other people better. We all know Stephen Curry can pretty much, we all know Stephen Curry is an all-around offensive player. And Caitlyn Clark commits a lot of turnovers. She got picked off at least 2 times. So that's the real assessment. And I wish people I wish people would tell the truth. So there you have it. Now, of course, when somebody sees this, sees this stream, oh, you're a hater. Oh, you're a hater. You just don't like her because whatever, man. But anyway, I'll be back with more.